So
Please
right
explain.
So all right, man. So that's a great question. So with writing, a lot of it has to do with the flow. What line is coming before or after this, that, the other. In this particular case, I started with Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Honey Ho, right?
Right.
And it was meant to be an allusion to Pee Wee's Playhouse.
Okay.
But it's the next line that comes behind it.
Okay.
Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Honey, and then like for like kind of like a call back to just the hip hop culture. It was like ho, you know,
Okay,
like I wanted to throw that in there. So Mecca Lecca High, Mecca Honey Ho. It's nothing magical. That is grace and election be like I be incompatible. And I became this radical to go against the grain and what you know. So
Okay,
like that,
okay.
so that's what it was. It like
Okay.
the Mecca Lecca High, like that wasn't even like the important part. That was just the, you know. It was my attention grabber, but it's like it's nothing magical. So it's like it's basically saying like, yo, this ain't my God ain't no genie in a box.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And if you notice, like I think like this whole thing, like I'm talking theological stuff about God and truths about God and who He is. Like no, this is the sovereign God that I'm talking about here.
Okay, I like that. So I'm glad you broke that down because, so you were saying earlier about you didn't like cussing because you felt like, you know, it was filler. It was a filler word.
Right.
Basically, I always hate when dudes cuss. I always feel like their vocabulary is small, so they gotta find something to fit in that.
Yeah.
And so you was talking about the same thing. So that's what made me ask the question, like, yo, so my thought process was you was using phrases like that just to fill a gap, but I see now that it's strategic, so I
no,
respect
it was
that.
always strategic, man. Like, so check this out. I did have songs back in the day where I would curse, but it wasn't to fill in the gap. Like, it had to make sense.
Right.
So, like, I had this one line where I was like, and I'm not gonna curse, I'm gonna bleep it, but like, I said, man, like, these rappers on the roll, but half they spit belongs in the commode. You know, you know what I'm saying? Like, it had to be a purpose there, too. I had a safe sex song called The Effing Message.
Before salvation?
This is you know, again, remember that part's debatable, right? You know, I don't know if I was saved or not, you know, but
well, okay, going along with you on that. So for me, like you grew up in church, been in church all my life.
Yeah.
I say all the time, my dudes can back this up. I say all the time, I don't consider myself saved until I hated my sin and loved God.
Yeah.
So church, because at one point, you know, as I'm sure, church attendance was the threshold of I'm saved. So church attendance, my tithes, my offerings, you know, things like that was what indicated that I am a Christian.
Yeah.
For me, it wasn't until I started to realize the weight of my sins and Christ's sacrifice for such weight.
Right.
Is when that ball got the roll there, is when I then said, okay, I see this as salvation and not just wordplay.
Right.
Okay.
No, I agree with that. Yeah.
Would you say you're in the same boat?
You know, there was a funny little in between. I think there was a time where like I would sit and like I wouldn't think nothing about it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like it would be, dude, like I would take the money I earned from drumming and go and buy buy a sack of weed and some liquor, you know, and so for like, you know, and probably, you know, meet some female somewhere who, you know, all this other stuff like so, but like there was a point like after songs like The Effing Message.
Still hilarious.
Yeah. Dude, it was actually a really good song though. Like even my sister who hates cursing in rap was like, this is a good song. because dude, like the hook like sounded like it was something hood, like get the effing message. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Why you out here laying up and bust no contraceptives? And it's like it took a left. It's like, wait a minute, what? You know, but like there was a point where I started to feel guilty. I'd be sitting around my boys, DC. He'll tell you. We were sitting around, we'd be smoking and drinking or whatever. I'd be like, you know, Christ came back right now, dude. Like, dude, like we be just toast.
So you were conscious of the Lord and salvation while still smoking and doing you.
Exactly.
Okay.
And so, but like every so often, like I would start getting these hits, like these little pings. And I remember one time, man, it was so strange. I got off work, payday Friday.
Right.
My weed man didn't stay too far from me. Went and bought a nice little 20 bag. I had a 40 ounce. 40s was in then. I don't know if they still are. I don't know. They were in then. This was like 2000 and like this is like 2006.
Okay.
There, right? Had the house to myself. Back then, PlayStation 2 downstairs, had my Dragon Ball Z game, big screen TV. We ready to kick it for the weekend.
Okay.
Got downstairs, man, rolled my blunt, everything. I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, I just had this urge to read the word.
Really?
Just the urge, right? And so, at the time, there was this Bible that I had that my parents had got me. They had my name. They got me for one of my birthdays, and my name was engraved on it. And it was a Bible that, not one that I opened all the time, but wherever I was, it went. Like when I went to Job Corps, it was with me. When I came back, it was with me. Whatever house I lived in, that Bible was there. But it was something that I didn't pull out all the time. So like, had the urge to read the word. So I would go upstairs. I went upstairs, went through the kitchen, went through the living room. Turned the corner by the bathroom. There's this closet next to the bathroom. I open up this closet, pull out this box. There's a box behind it. I grabbed that box. At the bottom of that box, that's where that Bible is. Not quite sure how I knew it was there, but it was there. Right? And so I did one of them little goofy little things, man. Like I went and sat down. I was like, all right, Lord, obviously, you got something that you want to say to me. All right, and I want to hear you, whatever it is, So wherever I open this up, let this be where you want me to read, right? So I open it up. There's highlighted passage on there, and I was like, man, that's too easy.
Okay.
So I tried to read something else. Couldn't understand the thing I was reading. Matter of fact, couldn't even really focus, and I didn't fight it that long. I was trying to read, but it was like, how your eyes just kind of just like, like you're going over the words, but you're not absorbing anything.
Right.
That's what was happening. I was like, nah, this ain't it. So I stopped, and I was like, well, at least let me check out the highlighted passage. I don't even remember highlighting these passages, by the way. At least let me check out the highlighted passage. It's Romans 12, 1 and 2. Oh, right. I beseech you, therefore, brethren, by the mercies of God, that you present yourselves a living sacrifice, wholly acceptable unto God, which is your reasonable service, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Here, I'm getting ready to blow my brain cells out.
Wow.
And I'll admit, I didn't stop smoking right away. I'm gonna admit.
Okay.
But I kept that Bible open to that page, and I set it off to the side, and I thought about it, and I lit up, and I was like, that was crazy, right? That's how, But I would go and I would read it again. And I was like, every so often, let's go and I would just look at that, and then I was, it got to a point where I was sitting around in the smoke session with some friends, and I was like, I'm not smoking anymore. And now, mind you, I did a good job where I quit for some time, had some relapses or whatever, had like a relapse or two, whatever. But I don't smoke anymore.
Was weed a stronghold for you?
It's pretty much. Okay. I mean, it was a luxury thing. You know what's weird, man? Like when I think about I don't think things like, cause it wasn't like, oh man, I need to smoke, man. Like that. It was just really more so like, I like to sit back, chill, and smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and so forth. But when I would smoke, I would be a little different. Sometimes for the better, sometimes for the worse. It just all depends, There was some times where I can go to a job. When I worked at McDonald's and I was smoking, dude, I was functional. I was getting them double cheeseburgers out, still in the fryer every now and then because I had the munchies, right? But there was sometimes, man, where it's like, oh snap, my baby been crying. Like there was some times where I wasn't as good, and so I knew it was just like, nah, this is not good for me, and so forth. But so it wasn't like it was so hard, like man, I'm feeding for a blunt, like that. But I enjoyed it, but it was, and the reason what I was getting ready to say with this is like it was almost like the same with porn. Like I never had a porn addiction, but I would, but I would enjoy it, and so forth, and so. But it was like it got to the point, it's like, like this, I don't need this. Like this is not good for me. It's not good for my heart and my soul and some more stuff. But over time, these are gradual convictions that were setting in, and I began to get a gradual disdain for my sin. And to the day, it's like, Lord, I remember I got to the point I was like, man, can you just make women ugly to me that ain't my wife?
I've been there. I've been there.
Like all types of stuff. Like when I look at them, can I see the elephant man, please? And these are legit prayers too. It's like, man, like why? Like I don't get it. But I say, you know what? Whatever it is. This is why, maybe I'm wrong in assuming this, but that thorn that Paul talks about having it, I can wonder what it was, but it's probably sin. He probably still kept his nose up at a Gentile or something. I don't know. Maybe he was.
I've wondered that.
Yeah,
I've honestly wondered that. Was it something because we always equate Paul as the man, right?
The
one that God used like mightily, right? And that's an opportunity for pride to rise up. So I always wonder if the Lord allowed him to still have some kind of stronghold of some sort that reminded him, although I use you mighty, you still are a sinner like everybody else.
Boy, let me tell you, God reminds me every day. And I'm glad because, dude, like there was, like, again, I'm making a really long story as short as possibly can, but like when it came to like preaching, like around about 2009, there was just this unction, like to preach, like I was being drawn to start preaching, and my excuse was, number one, first of all, have you seen my track record? Like I got a lot of stuff against me, and still combatants. Number two, one of the things I was worried about was pride, because you gotta understand, like I've seen people who grew up with the past that I have, and like validation from people is like a big thing for them,
right?
And so it's like. And it's like once they get it, it's like now I'm living a life. Like I see this. Like I see the story so many times in different people or in different characters, even where it's like, hey, you was a nobody then. Now you get a little recognition. Now you feeling yourself, cutting your family off. You're doing dirty things, dirtball things to your friends, and it's like I don't want to be that guy.
Gotcha.
Which I think was another thing that kind of you asked me, how did I go from this kid with this chip on the shoulder to this? I think God like really kind of like shaped my thinking in this, and saying like, hey, like you see what you don't want to, you see what's possible, right? And like I don't want to be like, I never wanted to be that guy. I never wanted to be like this whole, like there was things I was seeing some preachers, man, where it's like, yo, like they acting like that, like they're on the throne, and that we're here to serve them, and so forth, and as opposed to being like those types of, like I don't want to be that. So like I struggle with those types of things, but again,
so is pastoring the end goal, or is rapper the end goal?
Pastor, that's another great question. Christian rap is my hobby.
Okay.
I have fun doing it. I enjoy it. I love music. I can't sing, so I rap.
I was gonna bring it up, but I don't want to be rude.
No, it's okay. Listen, I know I can't sing, but I love to sing, which is weird though. Like I love to sing. I wish I could sing, and I think that's one of those things that God's like, nah, cause you clown.
But your daughter.
Yeah. Oh my daughter.
Your daughter.
My daughter's a monster. You know what makes me mad? She don't even want to be a singer.
Really?
No, she wants to be like a hairstylist and some more stuff. And that's fine.
I can do both.
Yeah, I'm gonna support her. But like, I keep trying to tell her, like, you don't realize how dope you are. And I'm not just saying this because I'm your dad.
Right.
Like, no, you do.
I got. When I did my review of your album, I was mad. 'Cause I was like, is that her?
Yeah.
Because like it's like she kept, like, it was different tones of each different person. I'm like, nah, that ain't her.
Yeah.
That's somebody else.
Yeah.
And I was like, why isn't he doing? You talked about, you broke it down, but
yeah.
I was like, yo, why isn't he using her on every song? Like, your daughter can sing.
Yeah.
It's like, why use other people? No disrespect to them. Shout out to them if you're watching. My bad.
Yeah.
But no, I was just like, yo, your daughter is a dope musician. Like,
dude,
it makes sense to me.
Dude, she got video. I got a video on my Instagram from years ago when she was like 10, and she sang "Everybody Say Amen." They had like 6-part harmonies going on that bad boy. 10 years old, man. Like, dude, like the stuff that she used to have. I don't know what happened to it on my garage band on my phone. She was making beats and then writing songs to these beats and just playing around though. And it's just like, dude, but like it's and that's fine. Like, if she didn't want to make a career out of it, I'm actually pretty fine with that, because that means that for her it's gonna be something that she never gonna lose. Like, nobody will ever be able to suck the joy out of it, because sometimes when it becomes a career, it becomes a job, like the joy gets sucked out of it, and I think for me that's what it is with the Christian rap. It's like, man, I'm having fun. Like, I enjoy what I do. I enjoy, like yes, I pour money into it, but like it's my hobby though. It's like the way a lot of people pour a lot of money into comic books. I pour money into studio time and recording songs and putting stuff out there. And for me, the payback comes from, like, I've had people come and say, and then, by the way, this is all glory to God. This is not me bragging on me. This is all glory to God. Come back and say, like, hey, like, listening to your album kind of got me through a dark period. And I'm like, that's dope. Like, granted, I may not get mentioned by Rapzilla. Folks may not be checking for me like crazy. But like, man, like, if I could be used to have been a blessing to somebody, I'm legit, like, I'm so good with that. Like that's I sleep great at night. Like, you know.
Okay, so we're about to close on this,
Yeah.
but I wanna bring that up. I'm glad you brought that up because so this song here, "Heard My Cry."
Yeah.
That song, and what was the song you did on the Underground Railroad?
It's probably thinking about
We just talked about. I told you it was one of my favorite songs on the album.
I know it's the second song.
Sometimes,
yeah.
Right. So you get very transparent. That's one thing I love about MCs that can. That can get very transparent and talk about their life and be very open about sins and downfalls. And I love that because not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Not everybody can do it to the point where you're like, wow, I see me in what he is saying. Real quick, what drives you to want to share the real you and not the quote unquote social media you to those who may never meet you?
Yeah, that's a great question.